welcome to Let's Roll. You may ask yourselves, why has Right to Life Committee of New Mexico taken to the airwaves? Because in spite of our very best efforts, abortion continues to take place at a rate of 1 every 90 seconds. 1 out of every 4 women has had an abortion, which means that 1 out of every 4 men has also experienced abortion. We believe that until people understand abortion and what is taking place and why people continue to vote for candidates who are pro-choice, in spite of the fact that they themselves are pro-life, we have little chance of affecting people's decisions and choices. We want to dispel the lies that have been told about pregnancy centers, abortion, candidates, party platforms, and even the role of pastors in this matter. We all have a part to play, and play it we must. Why the title, Let's Roll? Well, on 9/11, word came to Flight 93 that they were turning from Cleveland and going back to Pennsylvania. They were flying very low to avoid being detected by radar, and they're making it possible for their cell phones to work. They were being told that they were about to be killed. They had already killed the people in New York in the Twin Towers, and they had hit the Pentagon in an effort to take out the president. And Flight 93 was to take out Congress. Those men and women knew what was right. They knew that they were going to die. So they did something about it. They had integrity, character. They prayed and said, we're going to do something, so let's roll. And they did. And they saved the Congress of the United States. This is what you and I must do. Our country is under attack, and life in particular is under great attack. You and I may not be called to do what they did on that plane, yet we are called to fight for life. And so we ask ourselves, what are we going to do? Pray? Of course. Have great courage? Yes, absolutely. If the answer is yes, then let's roll. Hello and welcome to this segment of Let's Roll. Last week we had Stephanie Luke from CareNet Pregnancy Centers, and what a show that was. So this week we're really excited to have the president of National Right to Life, Miss Carol Tobias. So we are so honored to have you on our show, Carol.
Thank you, Ethel. It's great to be here.
So I know you very well, but everybody doesn't. So I'd like for you, if you would tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I grew up in North Dakota. I was raised in a pro-life family. My parents were very active in the state Right to Life group, and I just, as I got older, decided that this is something I wanted to do. It really is my focus that I want to save God's babies, and that's what got me into it, and that's what keeps me going. Pro-life people are the greatest people in the world, so I get to spend most of my time with them, and it's wonderful. I'm loving it.
Great. You're a great president. We just love you, Carol.
Thank you.
I know that you just recently addressed the national conference in Virginia, and so Carol, how long have you been with Right to Life?
Well, that would tell my age, kind of.
That's okay.
But no, I've been in the movement for more than 40 years.
Okay. Wow. You don't look that old. That's great.
Good. No, I started when I was young and just single and didn't have a family, and I had a lot of time on my hands. So I got involved, and then I started working for North Dakota Right to Life. Through that, I met the people at National Right to Life. I got a job there, and I've been president now for 10 years. I just got elected to another 2-year term. So I'm just excited to keep working and not ready to give up.
Okay, great. Well, we're not ready for you to get up either.
Thanks.
So tell us about National Right to Life.
National Right to Life is the country's oldest and largest pro-life organization. Started back around 1970, before Roe v. Wade. We have an affiliate in each of the 50 states, and great one here, Right to Life Committee of New Mexico.
Yes.
And we've got chapters all over the country, a couple thousand chapters of people just working in their communities to make a difference, to change hearts and minds, to help to pass legislation, to elect candidates. You know, we work to do whatever we can to save those lives.
All right. So what are some of the issues that you're working on right now? I know that we heard lots of them at the conference, but tell us a little bit about, like, say, for example, the Hyde Amendment. So any of the things that you're working on.
We are in one of the toughest spots we've been in a long time because of the Biden administration and Democratic control in the House and Senate. There are a lot of pro-life Democrats around the country. Unfortunately, they are not represented in Washington. So we have an administration and a Congress that is trying to pass horrible pieces of legislation like the Women's Health Protection Act, which doesn't protect women. What it would do is strike down any and all federal laws that are at both the state or federal level. They want no limits on abortion for all 9 months of pregnancy. Abortion can be performed for any reason, and they want our tax dollars to pay for it. The so-called Women's Health Protection Act is one vehicle that they have that they are hoping they can do that. For the first time in 45 years, we are faced with a real serious attempt at removing the Hyde Amendment from the 2022 fiscal budget for the federal government. Now, a lot of people are going to say, what's the Hyde Amendment? Well, it's been in effect since 1976, and it says U.S. taxpayers do not have to pay for abortions with those tax dollars. The federal government cannot use tax dollars to pay for abortion. The Biden administration submitted their budget to Congress, and they specifically took out every single word that they could find so that there are a lot of different programs then that would be available, you know, with government funding to pay for abortions. So we are going to be fighting that tooth and nail in Congress. But we are seeing an unprecedented assault on human life coming from Washington right now.
Okay. So as I recall at the conference, you were saying no Hyde, no budget?
No Hyde, no budget. Congress is going to be, the appropriations committees are going through the process now, dealing with whether it's labor, health and human services, or it's transportation, Justice Department, they all have their budgets. And they're going to try to work through each individual section, and then they'll put it all together. And we are saying, and then they'll go to Congress and try to get it passed. But we are saying that if the Hyde Amendment or Hyde language is not in the budget, and the budget would allow tax dollars to pay for abortions, we will be fighting that Congress not pass it, no Hyde, no budget. They can use a continuing resolution to just continue the government operations at last year's budget levels because the Hyde Amendment is in that budget, or they shut down the government. But we do not want any budget passed that would not protect unborn babies by denying our tax dollars for the use of abortion.
So it would be worth it to shut down the government?
It would.
Yes.
It would. At something like this, I mean, you have to make a tough choice.
Yes.
But if we're going to start killing babies with our tax dollars, then the government doesn't need to be functioning.
Yes.
Quite frankly, it isn't functioning. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. So speaking of government and political campaigns, do you get involved in political campaigns? And to what extent?
We definitely get involved. National Right to Life has a political action committee and a victory fund. We will support pro-life candidates running for Congress or president who are going to work with us to protect unborn children. We've got a lot of laws in this country, some at the state level, some at the federal level. Some of them are good laws, some of them are bad laws, but we need to elect the men and women who are going to be voting on those laws. So we do get very heavily involved in races for candidates running for Congress, U.S. House and Senate.
Okay. And so how does that go? Do you submit a questionnaire, or how does that, what's that process?
We do have a questionnaire. We want to make sure that the candidate is going to sign his name on the dotted line, so to speak, that if this bill comes before me, I will be supporting it and working with you on it. And then we're also going to look at past records. If they were in the state legislature, do they have a voting record? If they were the governor or attorney general of a state, did they do something that would help? So we kind of take all of that into consideration as well. But we've got a very thorough questionnaire that asks, how they will vote on real pieces of legislation that could possibly come before them.
Okay. And I know you stated, I was going to ask how this administration is on life, but we're clearly seeing that there is an assault on life. So, but how is the life issue faring in our nation?
We are doing well around the country. What's kind of interesting is if you look at polling, people will say, I support Roe v. Wade. I think abortion should be legal. And then you start asking, but do you think babies who can feel pain should be aborted? Do you think babies who have been diagnosed with Down syndrome should be aborted? Do you think a baby should be aborted because, maybe the baby is a boy and mom and dad wanted a girl? There are just a lot of different things that people would say, well, no, I don't support that. I don't support that. I don't think abortion should be allowed at 20 weeks or, whatever. And yet that's what Roe v. Wade and the companion case, Doe v. Bolton, has accomplished, and that's basically the law of the land. So what we're seeing is that people would say that they support Roe v. Wade, but they don't know what Roe v. Wade did. If you look at, asking people specifically, should abortion be allowed in most circumstances or only a few circumstances or never allowed at all, we can get usually a majority of people saying that abortion should not be allowed at all or it should be allowed only in a few circumstances. And yet you would think that the entire country supports abortion, supports all these radical ideas, and you and I are the very few that are, fighting to overturn something. And the country just is not in that pocket. They still don't talk about it. Women who have had abortions don't generally talk about it without some good reason or to a close friend or something. It's still not something that the country is comfortable with.
We're going to work to change that.
Yes, we are.
So, Carol, we only have a few minute left. So, any closing thoughts that you want to tell anybody? How would they get involved, or what's the importance of people getting involved?
National Right to Life Committee, if you want to go to our website, it's nrlc.org. Ethel here with the Right to Life Committee of New Mexico. Contact either organization, but mainly just speak up. We need more people to be talking to their neighbors, their friends, their family. Did you know? And just kind of asking questions and keeping the issue alive. It's been 50 years, but the issue is still there, and it's still one of the largest issues in the country when it comes to elections or discussions. So just get involved, get active, and make your voice known. There are little babies counting on us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Carol. You've been wonderful. And thank you for joining us on this segment of Let's Roll. We'll see you next time. Hi, I'm Ethel Maharg, and I'm the Executive Director of Right to Life Committee of New Mexico. And we just love for you to come and join us on our new program, Let's Roll. It's going to be airing on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. as well as Saturdays at 8 p.m. in case you miss Wednesday's feature. So please come and join us and have some fun with us. We have a great time, so we look forward to seeing you then on Wednesdays at 9:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Welcome to Let's Roll. This is our news program. I'm Ethel Maharg, and this is...
I'm Corinne Rios.
And what have you got for us today, Corinne? I know you have a lot of...
Yes.
Yes, okay. So
did you know about the Arkansas Act 309?
I just heard about it. Isn't it wonderful? Tell us all about it.
Well, it's a ban that bans all abortions in Arkansas, except to save the life of the mother in a medical emergency. So you know what that means, right? Tell us a little bit more about what that means.
Okay, well, here in New Mexico, what we've had is, unfortunately, that just got undone by our legislature, actually, legislature and governor, but we had a bill in place as well that said that an abortion, if it was to be done, it would be in a hospital, for one, in a hospital, and it would be only for rape, incest, and the life of the mother.
Okay.
That was it, okay? And so it was supposed to be very, very rare.
Okay.
But now, of course, you see that we have now abortion up to the day of delivery here in our state. But what they're saying in Arkansas is they're saying it will be only for the life of the mother. So the states are taking control of their states.
Yeah, and Arkansas is challenging the abortion industry and claiming that their actions are outrageous and a crime against humanity.
Absolutely they are.
That's what's going on. And Arkansas is even claiming that the Supreme Court's Roe v. Wade and Doe versus Bolton and Planned Parenthood decisions are unfounded in the Constitution and should be reversed.
They should be.
They should be reversed. And you agree with that? That they should be reversed?
Absolutely, they should be, yes. They should be, because that was a court ruling, and it was not put before the people. And so, yes, absolutely. And people are rising up. Every state is they're beginning to challenge it, one after the other after the other. So,
and I think Carol Tobias from last episode 3, was saying that the states are making incredible gains for the pro-life movement, correct?
Absolutely, you're right. It's going back to the people.
It's exactly.
To the people, where it belongs.
Exactly. So Ethel, there's something else coming out, and there's a Students for Life that launched a 5-part docu-series called This is Chemical Abortion. Now, most people think that abortion is just you go to a doctor's office and you have an abortion. But that's not the whole story.
No, it's not.
So can you kind of tell our audience what this chemical abortion is?
Okay. Well, first, before I tell you that, I want to just let everybody know that 40% now of abortions that are taking place are chemical abortions. They're called the abortion pill. It's RU486.
Oh, okay.
It's mifepristone is the correct term for it. So girls can go over the counter, and they're trying to do telemedicine for doctors to prescribe that to young girls. But
that came out a while back, right?
RU486. And so what they do is the girl takes two pills. Okay. The first one is to slough the lining of, it basically starves the baby. So it begins to slough the lining of the uterus, and the baby will detach in time. All right. So the thing is, but then the second one will cause cramping, so that the baby will basically, the cramps, like when a mother will have her baby naturally. So that's what they're for. So more chemical abortions are taking place, but they're really, really dangerous because...
Really?
Yes, absolutely they are.
That seems so safe to me.
Oh, no.
Tell us why.
Well, because, for one, the cramping and the bleeding is much more than normal. Plus, if that baby is not expelled completely, she could have fetal tissue left within inside her, and many women have already died because of that.
They hemorrhage, is that correct?
They hemorrhage because of that. There's infection even from the first one. But what the Students for Life are doing is they're going for the abortion pill reversal. And actually here in our city at CareNet, they have the ability to provide abortion pill reversal. And that is a treatment of progesterone. But that has to be done, say you go in there and you take the pill and then you regret it and you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. If you call CareNet pregnancy centers here in Albuquerque, you can talk to somebody there and they can start providing the progesterone therapy for you. Now, you have to do that within the first 24 to 48 hours, or you may risk losing that baby anyway. So, and there is no guarantee that wouldn't happen. But the thing is that it's saving thousands of lives already. Yeah. Thousands of lives are being saved because the reversal of that is being done with progesterone. And what it is doctors have been using progesterone therapy, and it's a safe method for women that were maybe possibly miscarrying. And so it's already a safe and proven method.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not anything that's experimental. Oh, so they can go to like the doctor, the hospital, and they can get their abortion pill reversal.
So let me just get this straight. So women are trying to get a chemical abortion. They do not have to see a doctor in order to get this pill to abort a child.
Absolutely.
Am I correct?
Correct.
How does that happen?
It happens every day. Every day, young girls are being, sent to the drugstore to get their pill, or they can go to the local pregnancy.
So they have no care.
No care.
They have no doctor.
No.
When they take this pill and they abort their child. There's no care.
No. And
How is that safe for women, though?
It isn't safe. And the worst part about it is that our medical professionals here, like fire departments, police departments, they don't even know that this is taking place. So when they get called on the scene, they don't know why this girl is hemorrhaging, why she's in trouble. And so
they don't know how to treat.
They don't know how to treat. They don't know how to treat it. So it's really important that we inform not just the public, but also, not just the young girls and everything, but our medical professionals, because they don't know that this is taking place.
Right.
So it's really important because women are dying.
Yeah.
Women are dying from the abortion
chemical
pill.
abortion.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. So the Students for Life in America, they
Yes.
launched a 5-part docuseries this month specifically on the chemical abortion. And if people are interested to go see that, they can go visit thisischemicalabortion.com.
Okay, so this is chemicalabortion.com. So go check it out because you need to get informed. You know, we're doing everything that we can so that you will have the right information in front of you. So that, you know, we're saving more than just babies' lives. We're also saving mothers' lives as well.
Absolutely. So I want to see that, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see that. So something else that came out recently from the Associated Press is a new poll proving that Americans believe that abortion should be illegal, right?
Yes, that's right.
They believe that.
That's right.
65% of Americans believe abortion should be illegal in the second trimester.
Absolutely.
And 80% believe it should be illegal in the third trimester. And New Mexico is where? Legally, what we can do what in the third trimester?
We can abort a child. You can either go to labor and delivery, or you can go and have your child aborted. That's how awful it is here in our state. And the governor gleefully signed that bill into law.
And didn't you say that it was part of women's rights and the health of the woman?
Yeah, well, that's nonsense because nobody has the right to kill another human being. And so they talk about it as being health. When you are destroying the life of another person, that's not health.
Right.
And then they talk about it being her body, my body, my choice. Well, her body is her body. But that baby is not her body. It's got its total separate DNA and all that. So you know what? There's just a bunch of lies mixed in with all this. And it is not health.
Yes.
It is not healthcare. And you're absolutely right. I tell you what, 80%, is that?
80% believe it should be illegal in the third trimester.
Absolutely. And you know what else is that? It's very interesting is that those that call themselves pro-choice, even those who are pro-choice, 65% of them say that it should be illegal in the third trimester. So it isn't just us pro-lifers. Those who call themselves pro-choice think, no, that goes beyond, and it should not be legal in our state.
So why is it, do you think, that we have states, legislatures, and governors signing these bills into law, which are so clearly against what the people want, clearly by this research? Why is there a disconnect from constituents, legislatures, and governors? Because there seems to be a disconnect. Am I correct?
You are.
So why is that?
Because they're not representing the people. They're doing everything that they want to do, and it is their agenda. It is for population control. It is something that was devised many, many, many years ago, decades, and there is money involved, lots of it.
Yeah.
And so that's the problem. If you will see at any political campaign, who gets behind these candidates besides Planned Parenthood? They pour millions of dollars.
And all of that, by the way, is public.
It is public.
You can go to the Secretary of State in your own state and find out where a candidate's getting their money from. Am I correct?
Absolutely, you can.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you're getting millions and millions from, say, Planned Parenthood, well, that tells you maybe how you're going to vote or how you're going to do things. Am I right?
Absolutely.
But really, and the essence of it is Christians, pro-lifers, making their voices heard, calling their representatives or state representatives, and getting involved that way, speaking up. Am I right?
Absolutely, speaking up for those that cannot speak for themselves. So we are we're grateful for everyone that does.
Yes.
You know,
we need more of it.
We do.
We do need more.
We need people to get involved. So
I have great hope that we're going to turn this country around and turn our state around, right?
Absolutely. Our state is doing some great things already right now.
And you're doing great things by bringing education to the people.
Thank you so much for joining us on this segment. More than 5,000 men and women are considering abortion today, and every 90 seconds a child loses its life to abortion. In Albuquerque, since we lose an average of 5,000 children to abortion, 5,000 of them are late term or third trimester abortions. People come here to our city to abort their children up to the day of delivery from all over the world. The only way that we can stop this is to band together. Our mission at Right to Life Committee of New Mexico is to provide education concerning abortion, infanticide, assisted suicide, and euthanasia. We will be doing this through every avenue possible, and this program is just one of them. Please consider helping us today by either going to our website at rtlnm.org and donating there, or calling us at 505-881-4563. Since we are a statewide organization, we are making every effort to reach every corner of the state. We have 33 counties, yet we only have 12 state chapters. If you would like to join one of our chapters or start one, please call us at 505-881-4563. When you call, make certain that you claim your My Favorite Ride is Life site today.